Hi there, this is Yoshi. This is a care collab video um, and about Miltonia sunset. Miltonia sunset. Where do I begin? I rebloomed this particular one first time ever in my orchid journey, and that's when I started my YouTube channel. So I had this quite a bit, 3 years, 4 years, something like that maybe. Not really one of the first one known foul orchid, but it's up there. Anyways, so Care Collab, it is about lots of YouTubers get together and talk about one plant, and this time is a Miltonia sunset. And we talk about the culture and how each one of us grow it under their or our growing situation. And I will put all those people who's participating in this one. And yeah, like I said, this is my first rebloom ever orchid. It's really easygoing orchid. And yeah, think about that. I mean, I was a beginner of a beginner, and then I still rebloomed it. So it's fairly recommended if you find one. Now, finding is the problem. It was pretty common orchid back then, and for some reason I cannot find it anywhere actually. I don't know why. I mean, this is one of those produced hybrid, you know what I mean? So it should be easy, like ready to find anywhere, grocery store or whatever, but then it hasn't been the way it is now. So many people, each time I show this plant blooming, goes, hey, do you have this for sale? Yeah, because I sell orchids online. That is why this question comes up, and unfortunately I don't have one for sale. It's just so hard to find. I don't know why. Anyways, I'm right in the middle of a storm right now for some reason, so I hope you don't hear those raining hitting the greenhouse. Now, that's what I'm talking about. My environment right here is I grow my orchids, most of them, in greenhouse, and this is where it sits since it has a fusarium but recovered, so it's on the bottom floor, but it gets pretty good amount of light. This is where most of the lights are hitting around this area. So but I have those 3 shelves going, and at this season, at this moment, I have no shading net, but in summertime I have a 50% shading net. And yeah, I actually don't remember what is put it in, but it looks like bark, charcoal, and some sphagnum moss, which I'll probably change at repotting session. But this greenhouse in the summertime goes up to like 90 something degree, and winter time I keep it down to 60, 63, something like that, and then the heater kicks up. At this point I have 66 degree shown on the thermostat, and yeah, the heater is hitting on my leg and burning my leg at this point. But yeah, it's pretty cozy in my greenhouse. So I water it probably once a week, maybe directly into it, usually on my day off, which is usually Sunday nowadays. But anyways, when I water those guys, some water drips down, so that's why I only do this once a week. Now remind you that each situation you would water in a different occasion. I have a really good airflow, and that will make orchid dry in faster situation than you would in your indoor situation, unless it's hitting the fan all the time. But yeah, the fertilizer, I have I ever since I saw Fred Clark's teaching about continuous fertilizing, I keep fertilizing like 100 to 150 parts per million fertilizer, really weak, but each time I water, it gets the fertilizer, but it's really weak, and obviously that is enough for those guys. Now in the winter, summertime though, I can't do it. It's funny, it needs a fertilizer most in the summertime, so I put the slow release fertilizer in early spring, right before I change to watering from the hose, or I would call it tap water. That way I don't have to worry about a nutrition in the water, right? So I put slow release in the winter, early spring, and then as soon as the watering season hits, that I have to water every day in my greenhouse, then the tap water, and then from the tap water, the slow release fertilizer provides the nutrition to the plant. And then in the winter time, I don't do that because the tap water or the water from the faucet is too cold. So I switch to the sprayer, and you don't have to water a lot because it's not that hot, so it doesn't get dry that fast. So therefore you don't have to water that often, right? But then each time I water, I make a solution of about 100 to 150 parts per million, and that's what I use for watering. So that's for the fertilizing. For that 100 to 150 parts per million, I put a little bit of a Collab, and then a little bit of the regular orchid store-bought, nothing special fertilizer. So that's what I use. I'm thinking to switch over to Jack's. Paula from Hillbilly recommended this really strongly. So as soon as my fertilizers all used up, then that's what I'm going to switch up for. But anyways, that's that. I'm from Lake Stevens, Washington State, and I have 4 seasons, but not too severe, not too hot, not too cold. A pretty mild climate here, but I cannot leave it outside all year long because it does get freezing, and it will kill the plants. So they're all staying in the greenhouse all year round. But yeah, now the lighting, obviously again it's getting enough lighting here. Like I said before, this is most of the lights, the strongest light hits this area, the entrance, and the south is this way, but I have shading created by the tree, so there's no much of a shade around this area, so it gets really good level of light, even though it's on the bottom floor, but not too strong though, because all the way top that's where Banda and Cattleyas are getting stronger light, and it's under the shelves. So it had a fusarium long time ago, and I watched Roger's Miltonia Sunset fusarium video, and I did exactly what it says on the Rogers, and then reported. That was November 19th, and that's the last time I reported it, and ever since then it's actually doing really well, and I have strong belief that it's fully recovered from fusarium, and we're gonna see this. I'm going to report this, and at this point it has 2 spikes from this new growth, and here's another new growth coming out, and here is another 2 new spikes here. This is very vigorous plant, and I just found another new growth right there, and very vigorous. I mean, one of the vigorous plant I ever had. And I believe I divided it into 2 pieces. I don't remember. I think there are 2 divisions in the pot. I'll see to that too. So, and it was actually, this potting mix was based on where I used to live. I used to live in an apartment, so I was only watering every once a week or something, so that's why it had moss and stuff. But then I am changing the mix a little bit because now we are in greenhouse. Like I said, it has a medium-sized bark now, charcoal, and some sphagnum moss. But I am going to change to small bark with charcoal and perlite, and no moss, because you hear croaking? Yeah, I have a frog living in my greenhouse, and working hard to get rid of bugs, and hopefully I can find it sometime soon. And I officially named it. Somebody gave me a good name for it, so hopefully I can make a video for that little froggy guy. But anyways, digressed. So we're gonna change that to a reporting video now, and we'll see you in a bit.